Alrighty, Doc here from North America, and it's Tuesday, and we've got our charts again. They came back about an hour and a half later, something like that. The broker was what was they doing? They were doing an update or something like that, and so the update was done over the weekend, and someone forgot to hit the switch for the currencies. So we were running around the Dominion, and we were using J4X, but we weren't able to see our algo because we weren't having it being fed, which makes me want to go basically connect up to a secondary type of service. We're looking at that now, just in case, just to click over to it. That would feed the Chicago Quant Technology stuff. As you can see here, the the dollar Swiss franc still moving down, which is very interesting. You can see it here too. Not at yesterday's lows, of course, but still moving down and pretty low. And a little surprising, as you can see, the strength is trying to kick back out again. And we can see that at some of the other pairs trades. I think I saw the cable heading south. Let's show you that. And right there. Yeah, cable's moving a little bit, but then we're on the edge of Brexit or something like that. Giannis, how you doing? Hi to you too. And let's see, what else we got brewing there? Giannis, you see anything particular you'd like to look at? We can always jump to it if you're interested. And I'll go through my montage until you come up with something we might want to look at or you would like to see. Same thing with the euro. The euro, well, actually, the euro is firmed up now a little bit, even with the little red dot thing going on. It's trying to go into a sell, though, here, which is very curious because with the way the Swiss is dropping, you would think this would be rising. And we're not really seeing a lot of it at the moment. Just a little firmness, just a teeny weeny little firmness. So it's a little surprising, like I said. And then, oh, what do we got here? Sure, dollar CAD. Sure, let's see what dollar CAD. And maybe oil. Why not? Let's go take a peek. I can always stop what I'm doing. I like that. I like to explore. I'm a explorer. And you can see here and let's give it a refresh. You can see dollar CAD. This is the dollar against the Canadian dollar. American dollar against the Canadian dollar. There you go. You can see we got a little green dot kicking up. We're still on the sell, of course. You know, we've been there since this area here. And you can see the weekly had pressed down pretty well. It's starting to try to do a little bounce. We'll see if there's anything that comes out of that, but there's definitely a little profit taking going on from that move. Now, at the same time, I noted I saw oil down about 20 some odd cents before. Let's take a look at it again. There's March silver. March silver is just kind of sideways today. There's crude oil. You can see crude oil is trying to move down a little bit. It's just kind of soft. You can see our algorithm is trying to turn down here too at the same time. Usually when we see the Canadian dollar going up, that is usually a sign that the crude oil is going down. Hey, K Live, how you doing? Good morning to you, or good afternoon, or good evening. Do you see anything you'd like to see? Doc likes to explore. I find it very fascinating. I mean, I go through the rhythm every day of looking at the Swiss and the euro and the cable and the Turkish lira for dessert, and then we go on to Canadian and NASCAD, and then we jump over, unless someone asks for the yen or something like that, and then we jump over to the commodities. But I love just roaming around and see what's going on. So if you have anything particular you'd like to see, anybody would out there, just put it up on the chat line. You know, you don't have to give me a reason for anything. Just throw it up there and we'll go chase it. And first come, first serve. It's the way it always works around here. You put it up there, we go to yours first. Someone else puts 3 of them up there, then we go to their 3. Then somebody else puts another one up, then we go to their 1, and so forth. So, all right. So yeah, there's the Canadian. Not the Canadian. This is the oil. You can see it's relatively almost unchanged. Interesting that resting area, that thing that we looked at. Now it's turning into an upward channel, isn't it? Something like that. So I don't know if we're going to go see another push down. You can see our math is saying it's trying to get into a sell. And we're 2 weeks in a full buy here now. We'll see what they do with that. I think it all comes down to the confidence of the economy at this time, at this particular point, the world economy. I think that's part of the answer at this point. All right. So there we go. We did those two, and let's jump over to where were we left off? I guess we were looking at. Let's go to the currencies again. We were looking at Canadian. That's right. Uh, Normally we go to Turkish lira, so now let's go take a look at the Turkish lira right there. And you can see days and days and days of red. You know, it's like another correction, like we saw back in I don't know, like 7 months ago, 8 months ago. We're finally seeing a little correction again. This was politically stimulated by the resignation of the finance minister slash sovereign fund manager. So, you know, I guess there's a hope that Turkey was going to change its economic policies, and so it dropped off from all-time highs. You can see here we're getting a little volatility signal as we speak. Let's just refresh that just to double check. Yep, still see a red and a green just like we saw there, but look what happened last red and green 5 days back. It had no effort. It pushed it into the buy, and it went sideways and down for 3 more days again. But we're just look at that. We widen that. We're just flirting with the zero line, but we're not there yet. We're 53 weeks in a weekly buy, and I thought yesterday, if they were taking this down, like the U.S. quote was giving me a quote like, I don't know, what's that, 500 pips lower than what the Dukascopy one was. Obviously, the U.S. quotes were really bad. They weren't even remotely close. I say, oh, here we go. This pair has a triangle on D1. D1. The Turkish lira. I think that's what you're talking about, right? The Turkish lira has a triangle. Yeah, I can see that. This type of action here. Let's see if we can tighten this up. I kind of agree with you, but no problem there. Let's see if we can tighten this up. I guess what it is like that there, and that could be the one. This could be the two, and let's see if we can get a line there. Something like that. It's piercing now, isn't it? Yeah. So you got that, and then you got, I guess you could say you got a flat here, right? Something like that. Let's see if we can do a spinny thing. Something like that, right? But it's taking the top, so I guess we gotta. Oop. No, we don't want that. We'll erase that one. So I guess that's what it is. Let's see. D1. GBP AUD. Sure. No problem. RKV. No problem. We'll come back to that when K Live has more to say about it. Anyway, let's go see GBP AUD. I think we follow that one. GBP. There's GBP yen. No, we don't. Okay, so we'll slide that in there. Let's see, where is it at? I guess that's what it is. We look at Euro AUD. So let's take a look at GBP. All right, activate. And you can see we've been staring at that, doing all kinds of cute little dances. And slide the AUD in there. There it is right there. Right there again. See how it looks. So, okay, the buy was cool there. The sell was here, so we can move this one back one. Let's see, like that. And I'm not sure about these here. We'll double check them. We got to widen that. Let's see what that does. There you go. Now you can see it. And you can see how minute my math is doing. GBP gets really small. Okay, so let's see, we went into, I guess we can say we went to sell there, right? Went into the sell there. Went into the buy there. We can grab a hold of that buy like so. And it went right back into the sell again. Let's see, grab one of these sells here. Grab that sell. Went back into the sell there. Went into the buy yesterday. Okay, look at that. Went into the buy yesterday. See, it's plus all the way around. So we'll grab that greenie right there. And now we're going back into the sell again today. We'll grab that one there. So you can see the pressures on that. Went into the weekly sell here again. Let's grab one of those. There we are. This is why I like people suggesting things for me to look up. It's fascinating to see all the things and what they're doing and doing it live in front of you. Now let's see what the consistency has been. You can see the buy there was right. The sell was there. Caught that nice little slag. A slam, I guess you could call it. The buy here was there. The sell was right there. This tracks really nice, doesn't it? It's always fascinating when people suggest I go look at something because there's a lot of interesting products out there that like to trade really consistent, some solid consistent trading. There's the sell there that didn't mean anything. This buy here was a goodie though. Let's grab a hold of it right there. Throw that in like that. That was interesting. That was a good buy. And let's see, let's move this over to right there. And then move this buy. Oh, let's grab this. Let's put a buy in there like that. Buy. Oh, move you over. There's the buy right there. We can grab this sell. So we do this. We'll double click that, make it red, and move it over. Right there. This thing's really interesting. Really interesting product, GBP AUD. And then the buy was good here again. And then the sell can be moved over like right there. Catch that one. Look at some of the great calls the system had with it. It's a really good product to follow. All right. Let's see what else is brewing here. Traders, you have anything else out there? And K Live. Let's see. The pair has a triangle on D1. Let's go back to that again. That's on the Turkish you're talking about, right? So I guess we got to move this one up. Nope, not that one up. Move this one up. Nope, not that one up. There it is. But that would make it, even if we made it there, would that do it? Maybe that would do it. But that wouldn't be the one because the one's got to be up in here. So really that line has to start there. So it's kind of like it failed at it, didn't it? I don't know. That's an interesting triangle, though. I see what you're saying. It's definitely a resting situation. I agree with you totally. It's trying to rest. It's trying to do the triangle, the flag, the sideways chop, whatever you want to call it. It's trying to do it. I agree with you. I see that too. We'll see what they do as they take it out, and away. All right. Where do we go from here? Usually Canadian, so we'll go look at NASCAD. There's NASCAD. And it broke down there. So I guess how come we don't have a sell in there? Let's see. Where's my little arrow? Right there. Oh, I see. It's got to be moved over one. Right there. And let's take a look at NASCAD. Yep, 4 days. Notice on the fact check spreadsheet over here. Right in here. See that? Right there. 4 days in a sell. This is the 5th day. Exactly. 1, 2, 3. Oh, okay. Interesting. So that is the sell. I guess I don't know if they created a volatility after I saw that or what. Normally we don't usually consider that until the close of the bar and the beginning of this one. So it would be 1, 2, 3 going on a fourth day, fourth day, not a 5th day. But as you can see on the fact check spreadsheet, we have it in a 4-day thing. So somehow or another we ended up turning that into the sell. I understand why at the moment because it was lower and this was lower, and it all fits. And but we're still in a weekly buy, and it still has that issue there. So this is more like a dead cat bounce in a sense. All right. Anybody else have anything else they'd like to see? If not, we'll just keep on rolling with the homie here. Let's see. Let's go take a look at. Where do we go from here? Let's go take a look at this here. The crude oil. You can see that there. That's usually, and following the trends of the NASCAD and the Canadian and all that. That has always an interesting twist to it all. It's like building a channel here. All right, let's take a look at gold. Gold is, let's refresh that too. You see gold's pretty much unchanged from yesterday. Move that over a little bit like that. You see the weekly is holding up fairly well. The daily's holding up very well. So hey Ferris, how you doing? You are short the DAX. Good for you. Because it all is rolling over now, that's for sure. Let's see. Let's see if we can find the DAX on here. There it is. This is the ETF in the United States. Yeah, still a bunch of days in a sell, but in a weekly buy. Well, let's see if it'll break down more. I know it's down today, but let us see if it decides to drop today or tomorrow. It seems like today. It seems like there's pressure on the marketplace just in general. I can see that across the whole situation. You can see like the NASCAD, and let me see. Let's show you. You can see the S&P 500 is down right there. You see the pressures on. Matter of fact, we're getting a red-green dot as we speak at the moment. See that right there? Let's reload that and reload. You can see here we're already dancing along the zero line with the weekly. The daily is holding relatively firm, and when we refreshed it, look at that, the red dot disappeared. So maybe, I don't know. There's definitely selling going on when it comes to the DAX for the ETF here in the States. But same thing. Let's see what the Tech 100 on Dukascopy looks like right there. You can see that. It's holding up firm. It is down for the day, of course. You can see it's red. And you can see the weekly is trying to do something on the downside here. But the daily is holding up relatively well. I don't know if they have enough energy. There's some out there that are, oh, hey, middle age. There's some out there that really think that there's a melt up coming around the corner. They say there's just way too much money floating around. And so because of all that money floating around, the fund managers have got to do something with it. Because believe me, their investors are going to be like, well, we gave you the money to work. Why aren't you working it? You said you were a genius and you can work it. That usually puts pressure on them. Now here is Middle Age is saying Feb live cattle and Feb hogs. So let's take a look at, there's Feb live cattle right there. Let's see. Looks like today we got a shot. Is that it today? No, that's yesterday. Interesting. That's pushed in a sell. So we can put a red line in there. I don't know if we sent a chart out last night with a sell in it or not. We'll have to double check that. But it's definitely confirming it here today. Now let's give it a refresh. These markets don't like to trade. They barely trade in after hours. Not even sure if they lit them. Who knows with these stuff. But yeah, you can see that it closed in a daily sell there yesterday. I'm tempted to open up my chart now to see what we sent out yesterday. Let me see if I can find it. Let's see if I move this over a little bit. See, where's it at? There it is. I think I see it. Okay, so let's take a look and see what we sent out yesterday to the. No, that's not it. Oh, I know where I need to go. It's over here. It's over here. And I'll be able to show you what we sent out yesterday. So live cattle. Now look at that. It didn't have the line in there. And look at that. It had the red dot in there too. How did we not get a line in there? So it's definitely in a sell. That's just last night's chart. And let's see, hogs. Let's see what hogs are looking like. Hoggies. Now the hogs, oh yeah, they were already in a sell. Okay. That's the, let's just refresh that. What were feeders doing? Let's see what feeders were doing. Feeders are the same way in the sell. Interesting. So all the meats are heading into the sell. I saw corn going back into a buy. There it is there. Now they're trading that right now. That's interesting. And then wheat. I think wheat was trying to show some life in it. Yeah. There. Now, did we send out wheat in a buy last night? Let's see what that we did there. No, that was wheat last night. It was down. Okay. And why is it doing it this way now? Look at that. Let's just reload that again. Because it's screaming now that wheat is in a buy also right there. That'll go out this morning like that. So the grains are showing a little life. I guess we should look at soybeans too, just to give a flavor of that whole complex. Yeah, now they've been in a sell for a while here, but they're in that weekly buy. A lot of odd cross current going on there. You can see it's trying to break down a little bit. Oh no, wait a minute. I just updated it. Look what it did. So now it's pushing it into a buy. So now that's in a buy. But then today, they're selling it down again. That's sometimes it's so they put data in after the markets have closed, and it really makes it tough, you know. It doesn't happen all the time, but it happens too much, you know. That's the problem. And we chase after it. In some ways, we should probably put out the night charts like at 7 or 8 Eastern Standard. They should go out later or something. I don't know. The exchanges somehow or another throw in data that wasn't there throughout the day, and at the close of the markets, they're not showing it to us. And then somehow or another, overnight, it's kind of like the election. The next thing you know, they pile it in somewhere out of nowhere. It's very strange stuff. All right. So there's our look at the grains and the meats. Hamburger's going to be cheaper. All right, where do we go from here? Let's go over to, let's see, the commodities again. And we're looking at, we looked at gold. Natural gas has been interesting. Look at the way they've been pushing it down. And now, what's that doing? That's oh, okay, it's flirting with a buy. Let's refresh that. But that's today live. Because that's an 8th, so they're trying to do something today. They're trying to spike it up. Interesting. We saw how it was trying to just tighten this up a little bit. You can see it's turned pretty aggressively over the last couple of days, the line, anticipating some strength, but we don't see it appreciation at all in the price. We'll see. There was the last red and green. And you can see here, it's doing it again today. We'll see how that plays out on the natural gas situation. Let's see, I read your silver article. Oh, yeah, I know. I'm bidding on lower area. We're bidding lower on silver, thinking it wants to turn up. Let's take a look at silver. Let's see, where's that at? That's it, right there. There's silver. And it's trying to lift up again. Let's give it a fresh whoop and a reload. And expand. Yeah, it's trying to show some life in it. It's down a little bit for the day, but not enough, really. Yeah, that's March silver now. Like I said, showing some really positive life. I think I'm going to take a bite of an apple. I need something real quick. Excuse me, listeners and traders. All right, I'm back. Yeah, silver's acting pretty firm in here. We're wondering if it's going to go take out this high here, or at least go up and challenge these highs here in the 25, 60 area, right up in here, 55 area. So maybe another dollar up, but it was an interesting move yesterday. They had it down in the morning, and they just turned it around once the markets got rolling along. That was a very interesting blast off. We closed in a weekly buy last week. We're in a daily buy for, was that 2, 4, 6, 2, 4, no, that's not right. 2, 4, 6, this is the 7th day. So we're thinking any weakness might be really well worth buying at this point, as long as we're in a daily buy and a weekly buy. We'll see how they play that out. Let me think what else we got brewing here when it comes to the metals. I guess we take a look at copper, see what copper had to do. Isn't that a nice picture of me in the bar charts? I like my long-haired one better, though. They didn't want me to have my long-haired one. They said, no, you can't have the long-haired one. It's like, oh, come on. There's a pandemic going on, right? Think about all those shut-ins that can relate. Now, here we are. There's copper this morning. They're putting some pressure on that. It's been in a buy for a couple of days. I guess this goes back one more like that. There. Boom, boom, boom. Let's see, what else can we say about copper? It's been in a weekly buy for a good run. 2, 4, 6, 8, 9 full solid weeks. Solid run. Very firm. Yeah, me too. I kind of relate. I let Albert out. I don't let Albert out that much, but I let Albert Einstein out. I think that's a good old picture of me. I like that. See, I have that on the screen here. Do I have that on the screen? Yeah, there it is. There I am. There I am, looking exotically intellectual. The pseudo-intellectual me. The quasi-intellectual me. Yes, indeed. That was, the coronavirus thing was really kicking up. I wasn't going to go to a barber shop. I just let it rock. I hadn't done that in decades. Everybody up at the Institute is short-haired now. It's always funny. You see it's like, all these people out there. Barely see anybody in math or physics anymore with long hair. They're all like really chilling now. All doing the corporate executive look. All right. Let's see. Where did we leave off here? We're looking at the metals. Okay. Oh, yes. Let's look at platinum. Platinum was really strange yesterday. It was down like $40 at one point. Ooh. What are they doing to it today? That was okay. That's yesterday. Okay. So they knocked it all the way down, almost like that whole range. Look at the high. 78's the high, and the low is 14. $64 range. And it went into the sell here, you can see. Let's put a little red line in there. There we are. And we'll see what they do with it. Let me see if I can get a quote out of that. Is it? Where's platinum at? Platinum is down $14, almost $15 today at 34. So where's the chart here showing it closed? Because it's not updating it. Closed at 45.5, and right now it's trading at 34, basically. So, and it's still pressing down, but the weekly is very firm in here. All right, now, so that's pretty much the whole metals complex. Did we really look at gold? I guess we didn't really look at gold that closely. I know I moved the zero line over. Gold's acting bullish. Went into a weekly buy last week, just like silver. It's been in a daily buy for 3, 4, 5 full days. And is it 5 full days? 3, 4. Yeah, 3, 4, 5. That's a 5. What do we have on there? We have a 4 on there. Let's fix that. 5. There we go. And we'll save it. There we go. So we've been 5 full days in a buy. This is the 6th. Looking firm. Does seem like they want to buy his stuff. Anything's possible out there. All right. Where else can we go? Anybody have anything else they'd like to see? We're fascinated by anything that comes up. But hey, you know that British pound AUD one? What an interesting, nice pairs trade. Loves our math, doesn't it? My goodness. That's fascinating. Some of these, old exotics, they've become really nice trending products. It's like you almost want to stay out of the mainstream anymore. Like who wants to trade euros and, Swiss and so forth when you can trade, GBP AUD or something like that, Wonder what, we follow Euro AUD. Let's see what Euro AUD caught my eye a little bit. Let's go check that out again. Because we do follow that too, the Euro AUD. So there's GBP AUD and there's Euro AUD. Let's see how that looks. Does it trend? We haven't even filled that in. That's how much we don't even watch it. Goes into the weekly sell here, I guess. Where's the weekly sell? So there's the 30th. 2nd, 3rd, 4th, 5th. So it goes into a weekly sell there. There it is right there. Minuses, so we can put our sell in there, but it's kind of a little late to the party, isn't it? Something like that. And now we're really flirting with the weekly again. So, and then you can see, I can see, went into the daily sell here. And we'll put them in and we'll change the colors. Went into a buy there. Went into a sell there. Went into a buy there. Went into a sell there. Did both of them? That's a minus there on the plot 5. And the plot, I went into the buy there, I guess, again, and then a sell, like that. Boy, that's a lot of noise, isn't it? That GBP AUD is a lot more fun. And then you can see the sell there, and then did it go back into a buy again there? 0, 0, no, just missed it. And now it's trying to go into a buy today. So we go, let's change these colors now. It's a lot of noise, Look at this whole thing in here has been a lot of noise. Not as fun as the other one. And then red. And then red. We should do GBP AUD. That's where you want to trade something that seems to be enamored with our math. It's that one, that's for sure. And then right there again. A lot of noise. Then you got your buy here that did nothing. And then there's your sell that did something. And then your buy here that did something. And your sell there that did nothing. And there's your buy there that did a little something. And that sell did something. And that buy did something. Then it starts to get in that noisy area again here. So it goes into sell there, goes into a buy there, goes back into a sell there. Let's change those colors. Red, red wine. Let's see, right there. And then there. Now I'm on the exotic kick. Small pair trades that seem lots of fun. There we are. And there's that one. That's pretty cool. Let's see. Not much more chatter out there. I guess I've lost some people just kind of bored. We can go, where are we at? We just left off. I just got caught in the other pairs trade. I like the other one more. compared to the Euro AUD. I like this one. Where's that at? Let's go back to that. Let's save this too, since I did all that work. Save workspace. Save workspace as bingo, bango, bungo. And then right there, GBP AUD. I say we go with that one. That's more fun than GBP JPY. Is anybody watching that GBP JPY? Because it's not nowhere near as fun as this one is. This is definitely funner. Yeah, we'll wait and see. If not, we'll jump over. We'll change it on the chat line there, or not chat line, but the line there, because that's a lot more fun to watch. And probably for those that are in those countries, it's probably fun to trade. And that's the whole key to it all, really, in the end. What's the best one to trade? Which one makes the most amount of money? I mean, that's what we're really looking for here all the time. So, that JPY, I think I was thinking that had, didn't we were watching that for the election, the GBP JPY, and the election has turned into such a fraud, there's not much you can say about it. Now there's CAD yen. How about that? We could make that the GBP. We should do this. We should have taken that one and okay. I'll just leave it alone for the moment. All right. All right. Now we can jump back to the commodities again, metals and so forth. We did the oils, and we did look at natural gas. Natural gas is trying to slide down with it. We do auto gasoline. What do they call it? Gas oil. Let's see what that looks like right there. That's holding up. It's been in a buy for a couple of days, 2 weeks in a full buy. Just kind of a sign that the economy is turning around a little bit in here. So that is usually the sign of the world economy. When you see gas oil or the fuel for automobiles going up in value, it means that business is starting to get going along. People are starting to buy. Increased GDP, the whole bit. Growth. That's usually the answer to it all. Stock markets seem to be coming back. Who was talking about? I think it was Ferris, right? The stock markets are coming back from they're selling off. Let's see what we got going on here. There's the NASCAD. Just give it a refresh. Right there. It's fighting its way back up again. And the same thing is going on with the S&P. Let's give that a refresh. Not much, is it? Still down. And then let's take a look at the Russell. There's the Russell. Russell's like, is that really unchanged for today? I guess it is. It's very close. Nah. It closed at 92 basically, and it's trading at 82, so it's down 10 points. And let's see what the ESs are. So ES is closed at 90.75, and they are trading now at 90. Yeah, 90. Let me go back to that. Yeah, 90.75, and now they're trading at 74. So 97, 16 points down. Pressure is still a little bit there. There's no doubt about that. And then let's take a look at the Dow Jones, because the Dow Jones I looked up and it's like only down like 100 and something. You can see that there. There's yesterday. Yesterday's like a flat line. That doesn't even make any sense. There was a high and a low there yesterday. And what is that? That is the 4th. That is the 7th, and that is the 8th. And so it closed yesterday at 29.90. This is 9.90. This is the futures contract. And now it's trading at 29.54. So it's 46 points down. That's not much. I'm seeing the cash. The cash, I just saw the cash. It's like, where's it at? It was down like under 100. Now the futures contract says it's down 115 at the moment. So these closes on this chart are a little suspicious here. There we go. Now we reset it. Okay, that's better. So the close is 30,057 now. That makes more sense. I have to hit that thing a few times on the refresh to make sure it's working right. All right. Everybody seems to be bored and going in another direction at the moment. So what can we do here while we're here? Let's do this. Let me save some of these things while I've got them in front of me. So that would make sense. And then if anybody wants to see anything, and we'll go through, the whole montage of what we're doing here. We can look at each one of these more precisely. So there's silver, and it seems to be trying to lift back up, as you can see right there, right now. And the NASCAD, same situation. They are trying to lift back up. This is going to be a very interesting day on the political side too. I think there's some big court hearings going on the Trump election. So, I mean, never have we seen such a. We've seen twice in our lifetime as America, 1829 and 1876. These shenanigans went on, and they declared martial law and straightened it out. And it may have to go that way again too. There was such odd influence on the whole election that it has, everybody going in different directions. Did we say that right? I think we did. Let's try it again. NQ right there. There we go. And so that's probably the biggest problem of all, is that until we can get this election stuff cleaned up, it makes it awful hard to want to try to commit too much capital. Now, as I say that, I've been hearing money managers saying things like there's so much money sitting on the sideline that the market is just constantly pressing up. They've got to be able to show the investors that they're invested this year. Doesn't matter if they bought most of it in the last month. They have to have it in their portfolio before the end of December. And that's how that always works out. It's one of the stranger, what they used, you ever hear, if anybody's out there listening, do you remember when they used to call it window dressing? That's what window dressing is. You've heard it in the financial industry where they call things window dressing. Well, that's what window dressing is. And in other words, you don't have it in your portfolio, but you put it in there in the last month or days of the month. And then they considered 2020 that they had that product for 12 months in there. They pretend that it's been in there the whole year because it's in there before the end of the year. Is that one of the more strange ways of accounting you never heard of? I think it is. And so that has always had me perplexed how they get away with that. And you would think in a modern time like this, where your portfolio is like literally live and you can see it all the time, you would think that they would stop that stuff, but they still do it. It's part of the nature of the industry. So window dressing. So that's what window dressing is, and that's what we're going through right now. There's a lot of window dressing. There we go. Bitcoin. Sideways down, but nothing damaging. You can see here, it went into the sell here, and it does, it's just, the weekly is making a challenge to the zero line. So that's cool. That's giving us some physical clarity. And you can see copper's doing the same thing. It's starting to move down a little bit. We're going into a red dot here today. Throw a red line up top there. Trying it again. There we are. Quiet, the cryptos. They're not exactly knocking the socks off of them on the downside. And let's put the copper in there. There it is right there. Boy, it's gotten quiet. I guess I bored everybody. Just looking through, no new exotics. No crazy stories. I'm always willing to do a crazy story. You just have to instigate me. Doesn't take much. And there is the Dow Jones Industrial Average futures contract. right there. And there is. This is interesting. This is the 10-year bond. There's real serious talk that that it's yielding at like 9 something, 9.2 or 9.3, 0.93. I'm sorry. It's almost 1 percentage point. And there's talk of, you know, buyers really coming in and grabbing it because that's a pretty good yield for a 10-year bond. 10 years, 1%. Oof. Wow, things have really changed. When I started in this business, interest rates were at 17, 18, 19%, 21% for like, you know, for 90 day. Wow. Things have really changed on such a dramatic level. Here we are. All right. So we've gone through all of it, but the Robo. Let's put the Robo in there. There's Robo. And we'll refresh that. And we've done that whole group of products, you know, and this way we've got them all saved and ready to go. Robo right there. All right. What else can we look at here, traders? Anybody else care to see anything particular? What kind of title do we have for today, really, when you think about it? We looked at, you know, we're going to probably label it as GBP AUD because that was a fascinating chart. It's well worth for some people who may have followed it could say, oh, wow, we can do like GBP AUD and we could say gold. I guess we could do that, gold or silver, something like that, the metals. I think that would be a good title for this today. All right, let's jump over to here, right there, and take a peek at that. You know what we could do too is we could do, yeah, that would be about it. Let's go do that. So there's, we looked at this. This was January, you know, beans. They're not doing too good right there right now. It's obviously pressuring it down at the moment. But it went into the buy there yesterday. So we'll save that and send it over. That'll be the beans chart. Beanies. And you know what was interesting is all those meats and so forth, like here the hogs. They're selling them down. You would think all those plump holiday dinners would be keeping them firm, but not really, huh? I guess they bought them all the way up into the market, and now they're, you know, basically making the challenge of, you know, buy on the rumor, sell on the news type of thing. I think that's usually the way it usually rolls in the end. And there's corn. We've seen that. They're, you know, they're not letting this stuff go, and you can see it on the spreadsheet. Corn 17. Let's get a mouse there. 17 weeks in a weekly buy there. You can see, which is interesting, is that corn and soybeans are 17 and 15 weeks in buys. So they've been really, you know, but it went into a weekly sell a few weeks back, and it slid a little bit. Nothing major, but you know, it did go into the sell, and that's always curious in its own right. I guess they had enough bread and cookies or whatever. You know, they just had enough of everything at this point. So let's see right there. That's a save right there. And that's curious, you know, because these are things that are making the world economy move. These are dollar surrogates. These products here, you know, if you want to be long and you don't, you want to be long the dollar, but at the same time you don't have an interest in being long physically the dollar, and you want to be, you can buy a surrogate, something that, you know, like this that automatically, you know, is affected by the flow of the price of the currency itself. And that's what's interesting. Anything dollar denominated is always an interesting alternate now, and that's what we've seen throughout the last 8 or 9 years, is that we see that type of action there. Now this is the oils. This is the bean oil, which usually trades along with the crude oil and so forth. And you can see it there. It went into the buy yesterday, playing down a little bit right now, but that's what it did. And so is that what it did? That's what we market, and that's the way it goes. We don't usually, you know, we don't try not to, you know, basically mess with our own math. Got to use the math as it is, because if you break away from stuff that has been working, you get in trouble. And that's, we've talked about that before when it comes to, let's see what we got here. Cool. I'm getting an election thing. After webinar. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, it's, you can see that action here. You can see here, there's meal. This is, much more the, I guess, what is it? Did it try to go into a buy yesterday? I guess it did now they're trying to reflect it up. No dot. Awful hard to not put that into a buy. We'll just leave it as is at the moment. But yeah, the meal has been, the best way of just, watching it's interesting. It's the weakest of it all. Well, yeah, I guess you could say the meal has been, the spread must be widening or something like that. The crush spread. And oil has been holding up the best. Now here's the winter wheat, or the red wheat, the northern red wheat, Kansas City wheat, Minneapolis wheat. Just redo that. You can see there, it's been in a buy for, I guess yesterday, like that. And there's the 8th today. So they're trying to do that. They're trying to lift it up. The Chinese are really, having food problems, and they've been really, they need to buy something from here. They need to buy something from the United States. And so they've been buying a lot of grains, and that has been, one of the real strong products we've been following for months upon months. Is they've been holding up because the Chinese have to do that. Now, I saw an interesting article. Let me see if I can find it for you. I found an interesting article about that. Let's see, where's that search? Just want to show it to you. There's not many of you here, but it's well worth showing to you still. It is about their, where's it at here? Let's go to there. We're going to show you this article. I thought it was really interesting. Here it is right there. It's, fundamentals. And as Chinese FX reserves soar most in 7 years as Beijing starts to intervene against the soaring yuan. So what are they saying here? A little over 5 years since China's 2015 devaluation, which sparked an avalanche of FX reserve liquidation as Beijing scrambled to halt a tsunami of capital outflows, which at one point culminated in a furious wave of Bitcoin buying by the Chinese. So, I mean, we've probably seen something like that that's going on, And they're saying here that around the same time, the Chinese National Bureau of Statistics overnight reported a surge in exports and a record trade surplus. The PBOC also reported that at the end of November, China's forex reserves jumped to 3.2, basically 1.178. That's rounding them out, 3.2 trillion, beating estimates of 3.15. Just a little tick, the highest number since August of 16. Again, it's hard to believe that they have those type of numbers. I hear you. I know they have almost $1 trillion in U.S. bonds. They're the the third largest owner. The Americans are number one. We own enormous amounts of our own bonds. And then Japan is the second largest. And then they vie back and forth with China. And then it kind of moves down in the cycle. We, in the United States, almost own all 50% of all U.S. bonds outstanding. So, when you see numbers like this, you got to wonder, why can't their currency trade more than 1%? If they have $3 trillion of surplus, from exports, why aren't people buying it in yuan? Why do they buy it in dollars? You know what I mean? That something's wrong there. It's the whole thing doesn't make any sense to me. I mean, if you're supposedly the second powerful economy in the world, why can't your currency carry it? I don't understand that. Obviously, it's one or the other. These numbers are not real, and that's why it can't. That's one or the other. They're real, and it doesn't make any sense why their currency can't, but it doesn't. Or these numbers are not real, and that's why they hide their currency. And their currency only trades about 1% of the world. So that's really strange. It always is strange. It always has me confused. When the media wants to say one thing about it, and I'm going, nah, it don't make any sense. And they just keep on singing the same song all the time. And it's like, wait a minute, this is not real. So that has me always in a confusion all the time. I mean, all the time. And it's a good question. It's a legitimate question. Why they can't use it? Yeah. Why? How can their currency trade less than 1% or 1% of world markets, but at the same time they have that type of reserve? Now we know that they've taken about 45 or 50 billion out of their U.S. bonds this year. They sold them using the cash, but it's not. None of it really makes sense math wise. It just doesn't, and finance wise. If they were that successful, why aren't people buying wands and trading, buying products directly? So they don't buy dollars, but instead everybody's buying dollars to buy Chinese goods. So why is it like I said, China is like a colony of ours. It's really weird. They have all the characteristics of a colony, but we don't own anything there. They're rebellious as a colony, and at the same time, they function economically like a colony. It's so weird. The whole thing is weird. I don't trust anything I hear out of China. Nothing. As far as I'm concerned, Japan is the number one economic community in Asia, and after that, China is there. It's number two, but it just doesn't make any sense what I see. It never does. So, all right. Anybody want to see anything else? We got about 2 minutes. So if you want to see something, give a yell. We will, do it. Whatever it is, we'll do it. We'll put it up there on the screen. And I want to save the 3 currencies that we're following. Open Sesame. There we are. Right there. We have clients following these 3 currencies. So I'll save them. Cable. Cable's still a real party favorite. Interesting, it's got its little pressure thing going on today. No dot. I'm going to throw a little red line in there because just to give everybody a heads up that something is brewing there. Supposedly Brexit allegedly is around the corner. I mean, like literally around the corner. We'll see what they're doing in the end. So there's cable. And then Euro right there. Euro is lifting its head up again. Let's refresh that. You can see that. It's trying at least. But it's putting the pressure. So I'm going to put a little... What did it do there? It just closed unched. So let's do this. There we are. Give a warning again there that there's pressure on the product. But both of them are in weekly buys, both cable and Euro with no problem. So it's not like they're rolling over like a little puppy on its back. And then last but not least, this AUD JBY. It's interesting, some of these smaller pairs trades are becoming very interesting things there. And it just closed in the sell last night. It's just showing a little weakness, nothing major there. So, anyway, traders, we've kind of come to the end of the adventure here. It was a kind of a sloppy Tuesday, but at least we got a chance to look at all the products we did not see yesterday. That was a good thing. You know what I mean? Yeah, it's an interesting article. It's the again, none of it ever makes any sense. It's always confusing me. It always is. All right, happy trails to you until we meet again. And that'll be Wednesday on Happy to Hump Day. Happy trails to you, to all our electrical, I guess, cyber trading friends. You're the pit. You're the electric pit. You're the electric crowd. That's what we are. We are an electric trading floor. So Doc saying, arrivederci. Happy trails to you.